Hey guys, what is up? NFL Weekly back to you again for some of the final predictions. This is going to be the NFL wildcard round for the AFC and the NFC. And through the season, we've seen how teams play, how they perform. We've seen in the final game, Week 17, that certain teams had a little bit more momentum than others. Certain teams played better than other teams. And that can kind of contribute to what's going on in the playoffs, but we also see some teams have been playing well all year. But with that said, we're going to get started and I'm going to at least put my predictions down on who I think is going to perform the best come wildcard weekend on Saturday. And I think certain teams are going to play really well. Some maybe not, but whether you're surprised, whether you're not, this is my NFL prediction for the wildcard round. So, to begin, if you look in your bottom left of your screen there, we see Raiders-Texans. That's going to be an interesting game. 12-4 Raiders, who definitely aren't the record at the moment because they've got a quarterback looking like right now it's going to be the third string.
Trojan.
And as you can see, we also have the Texans, who have quite a bit of skill. And the Texans, though, are lacking a quarterback also that has skill. They have Osweiler, who's doing not very good. And they've got an okay defense. So we're looking at Texans who've got quite of a lacking overall team, but the record kind of shows it. But they've got the home game, and they've got a little bit more, I would say, on their side. Even though the Raiders have a good record, it doesn't really matter. Because the Raiders are lacking a quarterback that knows what he's doing. So that's why I'm going to go with the Texans. And, I mean, we saw the Raiders performed against the Broncos. No offense against Raiders fans at all. I think Raiders have plenty of chance next year if Carr comes back. And I think Texans are on a roll. So, I mean, if you're talking about against the Raiders. I just don't see Raiders coming up to Texans and beating them. So, I think Texans have just a little bit more talent maybe right now. I'm not saying completely. Raiders do probably definitely have a better lineup overall in my opinion. They got Crabtree's pretty good. They got defense, Mac. They've got a lot of playmakers, but they don't got Carr, and that's the problem. So I'm going to go with Texans. Going against Patriots, and they're going to win this one. And so that's why they'll progress, in my opinion. Okay, next up on the AFC, we got Steelers-Dolphins. Going to be another interesting game, but it's going to be kind of, to me, a little less, because though the Dolphins beat the Steelers 30-15 earlier in the season, I still have to go with the Steelers. I mean, you look at the record, they're tight, close records, and the records represent who a team really is. And I've always thought that. A lot of people say record doesn't really matter. And I kind of see where that coming from because certain teams have kind of really easy records, and that can kind of show. But overall, the Dolphins, I think, and the Steelers both have had pretty, not really easy records overall. And both teams have had their fair share of challenges this year. So, I'm going to go up and say this one. It's going to be close, but I have to go with Steelers because they've got Big Ben. The three keys for Steelers to win this one is Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, and Antonio Brown. Three gigantic offensive playmakers. And you're also looking at the defense, who, though it isn't great, I would say, still got enough talent. I think they could overall probably hold off the Dolphins, maybe. I think the Dolphins do have a solid running game, but overall, I'm going to say the Dolphins are going to come up short. And the Steelers are going to win it. Lions against the Seattle Seahawks. Wildcard round on the NFC side. This one is interesting also, but I have to go with Seahawks. I think Seahawks have a little bit more on their side. I think they've got home field. They've been inconsistent pretty much all year long when it comes to offense. Defense has been pretty solid. Good one. Good defensive unit. Lions got a decent quarterback. He's a little injured, though. And they've also got an okay running game. So I think Lions have a little bit, but they're going to Seattle. And I just don't think they have what it takes, to be honest. So I think Seahawks are going to move on. They have a lot of experience, and that's what people are forgetting. Experience. And also skill. So Seahawks, I'm going to say they're going to win this one. And, yeah, they're going to win at home against the Lions. And Seahawks are going to proceed to go against the Falcons. Okay, the final wildcard game, Giants versus Packers. This one is by far the tightest. And I'm going to go, and I'm going to say the Giants are going to win the game. Now, a lot of people, this one's kind of split. You get half and half. I've seen online. The Giants, Packers, about the same. I go with Giants. I mean, I see the Giants in the Green Bay schedules. Giants have played the Cowboys twice, beat them twice. Giants have played other teams that I can't recall right now, but they beat many teams that weren't exactly easy teams. They also have lost a few games that probably shouldn't have lost. But the Giants have experience, and they've had experience in the playoffs, had experience in the wild card round, and I have to say they know what they're doing a lot. But the Packers also have decent experience, and they've also got an all-star quarterback who I think is better than Eli, and they're playing at home. It's going to be super tight. I'm going to say anywhere from 1 to 3 point differential for the win on either side, and trust me, I won't be surprised if Packers win. But I still have to go with Giants, and I think Giants are going to move on to face the Cowboys for the third time this season. So those are my predictions, guys. Once again, in the AFC side, Texans and Steelers are going to win. And I also think the Seahawks and the Giants are going to win on the NFC side. So those are my predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time.